What up, what up, what up?
Hey, everybody.
What's up, y'all? Hope you are excited as we are about being here on a Wednesday night at 9 o'clock again.
Right?
We are excited and we are live and we are glad that you are here with us. We see Adam. What's up, Adam? Good to see you, man.
Adam.
And I hope the rest of y'all are coming in right now. If you're coming in, go ahead and just put in the comments where you're joining us from, so we can see where you are in the United States. Or maybe you're not in the United States. Maybe you're somewhere else in the world. And, we'd like to have you too. So what's up, Adam? Good to see you, man. And anybody else who's here. I was told
Saba.
the Waits to tune in if they didn't want to get into the 77 shade of John. Oh, my goodness. Saba,
up,
Alicia. What up, girl? Kim?
Hey, Kim.
Primo,
Sissy.
as usual. Primo, we need to say
Primo.
Happy Veterans Day to you, bro.
Happy Veterans Day.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's good seeing you here once again, and we see you in uniform. I wanted to put you up there so everybody would see. Thank you for, serving your country. You're still doing it now, man,
That's
as a chaplain. And thank you for your service and all you've done for us, man. And people aren't like you, man. Most people, run away from trouble, but you are running toward it, to keep us safe.
Yes,
so
we appreciate that.
thank you for that, man.
Yes.
And,
hey, Crystal.
Patrick Graham, what up, man? Good to see you.
Hey, Patrick.
Yeah, so your brother was on here last week. Gary was on here. We shouted him out. We shouted all y'all out for the stream deck, and we're using it now, actually.
We are using it tonight.
Thank you, Pat. Once
Yes.
again, you guys are the dopest in the world. Jean Grey Phoenix. That is clearly not your actual name. I wish you would tell us who you actually are right now.
Hey,
Sheldon,
Shel.
what up?
What
Crystal,
up?
Crystal Ballard. Hey, what up, Crystal? My goodness, I haven't
Okay,
seen you in a minute.
good, Patrick. I'm glad you're behaving.
Yeah, good. Yeah, stay behaving, Patrick, because we don't need you on here cutting up. You know what I'm saying? This ain't your show. Yeah. So, guys, okay, so a couple things we want to say right off the bat. Just like last time, we want to make sure that if you have a person that you know of that you think might need a topic that we're dealing with, you may want to start your own watch party. You may want to share this with somebody else. Get this around as much as possible, because we think there's sometimes things that we are saying that could be helpful to somebody's relationship. You have no idea where they are in their process. And sometimes it's hard to have these conversations with your spouse, but when you watch something and you're just kind of watching it together, it kind of starts conversations sometimes, man.
Yes,
So
it's true.
Anyway,
true.
so if you want to do that, you can. And if there's any time that you want to, send us comments or questions or whatever, all you got to do is hit us on our Twitter, our Instagram. Hit us on our Instagram right here at Just John and April, and you can send us questions, comments, whatever you want to do, and we can use that stuff to as topics for our show, and keep the conversation going and stuff. We actually have a topic for tonight that we hope will be of use to some of you. We shall see.
Yes, we want to hear what you guys have to say about this.
Before I get in the topic, I want to say something about my parents. So
Okay.
I was FaceTiming with my father earlier today. We had a long conversation, and my mom was about to go somewhere. They've been married 44 years. My mom was about to go somewhere, and my dad's facial expression changed. I could see him, and he said, "Whoa!" He said, "Oh man!" I was like, "What?" He said, "Whoa, look at your mother." And he turned the phone around so that I could see her. She had just, I guess, gotten herself ready to go. She didn't do anything special, but she looked really nice. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, man, after 44 years, this dude is still sprung.
That
you know what I'm saying?
Beautiful. That is beautiful.
So anyway, shout out to my parents, John and
yes.
Giovanna Nixon. You are an inspiration to us all.
Definitely.
44 years and still in love. So thank you for, not holding back, Dad, and just, let it happen when it happens. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I was like, yo, Dad, we need to get off real quick because, I know you probably want to. Anyway, that was too much information. But yeah, so.
Yes. Okay, let's move on.
Topic
All
for
right.
tonight. Tonight's topic. Whoa.
Jean Grey Phoenix is Kara.
Oh, Kara. Or is it Kara?
Kara?
Is it Kara or Kara?
Rockville,
That looks like
Maryland.
Kara. You're in Rockville.
Hey,
Wow. Okay.
You right here with us.
We'll call you Kara, but until you correct me and tell me that it's Kara. But I think it's Kara.
Okay.
Glad to have you.
Yes,
Jean
thanks
Grey
for
Phoenix.
joining us. Thanks for joining us.
All right, tonight's topic.
All
Y'all
right,
ready?
here we
Okay,
go.
here's the question for tonight.
All right, I don't like the way my wife speaks to me.
Mm-hmm.
If I say something, I know she will flip. So I just ignore it and move on.
Man.
What do I do?
All right, so let me start by saying a lot of these people want to be anonymous. We will not say the name. And this
yes,
is
they
not
want to
me.
be anonymous. So
This is not my question for me. You know what I'm saying? This is not me talking to my wife or anything like that, which we do sometimes on the show. We'll like be upset with each other and we'll bring something to the show and, you know, work it out online. And it was, you know, it sometimes helps.
Yes.
But
Okay.
anyway, this is a big one. And really, this deals with what I would say is respect, I think. I think this subject is about really respect.
Definitely.
And if you saw the little thing for earlier, the title of this is "Why Doesn't My Wife Respect Me?" Clearly, that's behind this question, I would say. So,
Definitely.
what do you think, babe? I mean, you know, you're a wife that doesn't speak to her husband this way. Maybe you can help. I don't know.
So it's funny because when I think about this, I think about, you know, as a kid, as a teenager, you know, as a young person, as an adult, whatever, I look back and I think about, like, my mom never spoke to my dad in a
Right.
disrespectful way.
I've
So
never
I
seen
didn't
it
grow
either.
up hearing that.
Yeah.
But you have aunts and uncles, you got grandparents, you got people around you that show you that side,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so I've seen it, I've heard it, and I've always thought, man, you know, like, that's really bad, you know, the way she's speaking to him. And then I'll see that the wife not only speaks to her husband in this kind of like a, you know, put down way
Yeah.
or whatever.
It's
But-
not necessarily derogatory, but it's like she's
No.
talking down to him.
Just talking down to
Okay.
him, right?
Yeah.
You know, something like, you know, the dish wasn't in the sink right. You know, why you can't put this in the right way? You know, something that simple with a tone.
Right.
Okay. And then I see she's doing the same thing to the son. Right? Then I see, and this is family that I've seen, you know, doing this,
Yeah.
right?
Now hold on. Had you ever experienced this as a youngster, like a little girl seeing this and remembering?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, family members or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I would see the let's say the younger sibling, a daughter who's a younger sibling, ends up talking to her brother like that. Right?
Yeah.
So you've got this cycle
Yeah.
to the point where he then grows up.
And does and
And
assumes
marries.
he has to marry somebody like that.
He's attracted to that though.
Right.
For some reason. Not that he likes it.
Right.
But it's just
There's something that
what
feels normal
he uses,
about it.
right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
have the daughter who keeps the cycle going.
Right.
She marries and she speaks to her husband the same way her
Right.
son, and then the cycle just continues
Yeah,
to
yeah,
go
yeah,
and
yeah,
go and
yeah,
go.
yeah.
That's what I have seen, and it's sad when I see that. I'm like, man, that's kind of dirt.
Yeah.
To talk to your man like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
like,
I think it
you
has
know.
I think it can have a really serious detrimental effect on a relationship.
yes.
And I'm not even sure. I wonder, this guy doesn't say this in his question, but I wonder if he feels like that's the case with him. Is it, you know, that he feels like this is a cycle that's been happening? Is this something that his wife's been doing because she has seen this her whole life in her situation?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, but I always want to know, is this something, and you can go ahead and fix that.
Okay.
Go ahead and fix that. I always want to know, is this something that was going on when they were dating? Or
Right.
does this turn? You know,
Right.
that's the question. You know, does this turn? She said you pronounced it correctly.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Cara.
Do you know, is this something that was going on when they were dating, and then all of a sudden you get married, stress comes, you got kids, you
Yes.
got all this stuff, you're out of the clouds now,
Right.
and then you begin to talk the way you really want to talk.
Okay, so let's do a
You know
couple
what I'm
things.
saying?
Okay, he doesn't do it for us, but let's define what we think disrespect would look like.
Okay.
Let's talk about that just for the audience, so they would have an
Okay.
understanding of where we are, that we agree on this, right? Because here's what I'm saying. I noticed when you were talking just now that you said sometimes you hear it in the tone. When you were a girl and you were witnessing this, that your family members or whatever were talking, where the wife was talking down to her husband, you noticed it was in the tone. So I guess we can say that maybe this is not necessarily easy to pin down, because a person could be disrespectful even though the words that they say are not necessarily disrespectful. Maybe the
Yes.
tone is disrespectful.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. You
So
know?
that's important. So give us a demonstration of a disrespectful tone.
I mean, like, why would you do that?
Okay.
I mean, just that simple question
Yes.
with that tone
And with your facial expression
and
too.
with the facial expression
Okay.
and the hand movements
Yes.
and all that.
Okay.
You know, I think is disrespectful.
So it's disrespectful, definitely, for a wife to call her husband names, to say things like you're stupid or you're lazy or something like that. You would say that's disrespectful.
Of course.
But you would also say that even if I don't use those names for my spouse, that if I have a certain tone, that can be disrespectful as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Now, let's pause for a second just to say this. I forgot we were supposed to tell people at the beginning of this episode. What we're doing tonight is we're really focusing on the husband. We're focusing on...
This question came from a husband
That's
about
right.
his wife. So we're focusing on the husband.
This is going to be like a one-sided episode
right.
from that perspective.
So we're
right?
focusing on
the wife talking to the
husband
right.
in a disrespectful way. Okay.
But next week, tune in, wives. Come back next week because we're flipping it. We're going to talk next week about basically husbands that don't love their wives, and the wife is like, what the heck am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
You know what
so
I'm
we'll
saying?
get to
so,
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's next week. So just stay tuned for that.
Ambry
but right
says,
now, you're
do you only disrespect someone you feel is not on your level?
Okay. So
that's a good thing to say because...
Let's get into that because that leads us to a question, right? Mm-hmm. So before we actually answer this guy's question, we want to actually just discuss what we think this is. How could it be that they got to this place? You actually asked, you said, was it always like this? Was this something that he saw before they got married? Or was this something that maybe changed after they got married? And we've seen this before with couples that we counsel,
right?
that a wife might have had respect. She may have had some respect for her husband and been okay with him.
Right.
And then somewhere along the way, something happens to change that.
Yes.
And now she doesn't respect him any longer.
Oh, yeah.
And what you said pre-show, as we were kind of talking about this, you said some wives probably lose respect for their husband because they're no longer respectable.
Yes. So this is the thing. It's like, I've always heard people say, well, you got to earn respect.
Yes.
Like I cannot respect you if you're not respectable.
Yes.
Okay. So there are some wives who feel like, or women in relationships who feel like this man, he
you
doesn't
earn your
deserve my
respect.
respect.
Yeah, I'll respect you when you earn it.
I'll respect you when you earn it. And so you may have started off respecting this man.
Yes.
Right. And then you get in a relationship and things change. And you don't respect him anymore. And I have my reasons why I feel like some. You tell me, why do you think sometimes women stop respecting the man? Like how does that happen?
So I got a couple of things that I would say. I think that sometimes, this is my opinion, sometimes I think that respect is code for obey. Now, when I say that a wife needs to respect her husband, that's not what I mean.
I know that's not what you mean.
I know you know. So what I mean,
I know that's not what you mean.
what I mean is a respect that happens between equals. I don't mean obey.
Exactly.
But my personal feeling is that the way respect was interpreted, forget the word respect. I mean, in the 60s, Ward and June Cleaver, let's use them again. When they got married, they actually said the words obey in their vows.
Right.
And the wife didn't say it.
Yeah.
Excuse me, the husband didn't say it.
The husband didn't say it.
The wife said,
said it.
I will obey. The husband doesn't say that. So I think that there is a sort of, I don't know, maybe a wall. There's something that some women have, especially those, we talked about this a while ago, women that are feminish. We talked about that. I would say those women probably would go into this saying that kind of thing. I don't have to respect you unless you earn it. And I think that is probably stemming from a respect equals obey thing.
Okay.
And to me, we need to throw that out because to me, that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about respect as obey. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I have a different reason why.
Okay.
I think that what happens is, you're with this person, you're in the clouds, whatever. And then when the clouds go away, you come down to regular earth.
So you're talking about what it's like when you first get married,
regular land,
and
you're
in,
way up in the stars,
in the stratosphere.
Right? In the stratosphere,
Right.
You come back down, and then you start to see things, and you say, I'm losing respect for him. And you don't really say this, but it shows in your actions that maybe it's because, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but my man's a punk.
Right.
He's a pansy.
Right. And so
I didn't realize how much of a punk he is, and you lose respect for him.
So give me an example of what you mean when you say.
And I'm sorry, I'm saying this because I love a real man.
Right.
My daddy's a real man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's a veteran too.
Right.
He's a real man. I just, I
So
just feel like
happy Veterans Day to you too, Pop.
Yes, happy Veterans Day, Daddy. So I feel like, for me, if I see that, and I want to make sure I say this right, but
first of
whatever
all,
my mind is that I see the person as a punk or a pansy. I think
Yes.
other women might see that kind of thing too, and it might make you lose respect.
Right.
I'm just saying.
All right. So here's my thing about that. We need to define what you mean when you say that the man's a punk, because I need to know what. Well, first of all, I think this audience needs to know that you don't feel that way.
No, I don't feel that way. Of course not.
just
Listen, we're
making
having a
sure.
conversation here.
All right, just making sure.
I'm saying what I think.
Now, here's what I was gonna say though. Here's the thing. What makes a pansy? Like, what? Give me an example of something that would.
I should not be saying these things.
just give me an example of what you mean. If one day I did something or whatever would make you start sort of losing respect, being like, man, what's wrong with John? What you know what I'm saying?
Okay, define punk or pansy.
Yeah, that's what Horace is asking for right now. Yeah.
Okay. Should I be saying this? Okay, I mean, like.
So
okay.
first of all, part of the reason why we do this is because we're being real.
Okay, we're being that's what I'm saying. We have to be real,
and
because
these are aspects. These are aspects of things that we're giving a window into a woman's mind.
Yes,
at least yours.
At least
You know
mine.
what I'm
And I
saying?
mean, there's got to be some women that feel like me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a woman.
Okay,
now,
so
all
give
women
us some
don't
examples.
think the same way. So
Yeah.
I'm not speaking for all women, but I just think you can handle it. Okay, Sheldon. I think that, let me give you an example. Let's say I want to, there's a spider in the house.
Okay.
Okay. And I say, babe, there's a spider on the wall.
Yeah.
Can you get it?
Right.
And you're like, dang, that spider's big. Nah, man, you get that spider. I'll be like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a little punkish for me.
And that would make you feel like, oh my goodness, I thought I married a man, but what in the world?
Kind of.
Okay, so give me another example. Is it what about? Okay, let's pick something.
Okay, I got it. So
go ahead.
let's say we got some work done in the house, right?
Okay.
Let's say we got the hardwood floors changed.
Yes.
And something happened, and something was messed up, and the guy or whoever didn't do it right. The company didn't do it right.
Didn't do a good job.
Didn't
the
do a good
workmanship,
job.
the craftsmanship was messed up.
Exactly.
All right.
I would feel like you are a punk or a pansy, and I'm saying this hard, seriously. I feel like you are a punk or a pansy if you say, oh, well, we'll just leave it. I don't really want to call and say anything.
Yeah.
It's fine. We'll just leave the huge gash that's in the floor. I'll be like, what?
Right.
Like, are you serious? You cannot be man enough to call the company and tell them, I will not be paying for this, or you need to come back and fix it.
Right.
That's just my feelings.
And that would make you lose respect for me in some way. You would have to fight to keep respecting me if you saw that kind of thing in me, basically.
Exactly.
Okay, so
my boy Sheldon agrees.
Okay, so here's my issue. And I'm just playing devil's advocate now.
Okay.
A little bit. Okay. My issue with that is you have sort of kind of, in my opinion, just assigned something to a particular gender that I think you would dislike if I did to you in another circumstance. So, for instance, if I was like you need to be barefoot and pregnant type husband, right, which is a sort of stereotypical what you say to the wife kind of thing, isn't it the same thing that you're now saying to the husband he has to kill every spider, or he has to be the one to call the company, or else all that makes him a pansy? Isn't that assigning to him some kind of gender thing? You know what I'm saying? Let me give you an example of what I mean, okay? Follow me here for a second.
I'm not going to roll my eyes
Don't
yet.
roll your eyes yet. Okay,
right.
here, follow me. Let's just say that my personality style is one that is less aggressive and less sort of forceful. I don't want to use those words because both of those sound negative. Well, what if it was a little bit where you were the one who was assertive in the relationship as the wife, and I was the one that was a little bit more laid back, and I wasn't necessarily the type that likes to confront people. Now, for me to be a respectable man, do I have to be able to confront everybody? What if you're the one in the relationship? What if you're the one in the relationship that's the aggressive one? That's the one that speaks out. I've seen a lot of, we have friends.
I know.
Husbands and wives where the wife is the one who's more aggressive than the husband. Does that make him less of a man?
Listen, no, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is when I say to you as the wife, babe, can you call them because this is not right? I want you to call them because let's be real, guys. In certain situations, if a man does not handle it, you might not get what you want out of the situation.
Right.
That's just the reality of the world we live in.
Right.
I have friends who are single who get my husband to go with them to pick a car. And I'm so okay with that because we know we live in that kind of world. So let's just say, and my man says, no, I don't really want to do that because, well, I just feel like that's just, I don't really want to have to deal with that. That is a punk.
Right.
And I like what Kim said, and we can scroll back and find her
go.
comment because that's such a good comment right there. Being a punk could be not taking care of your kids.
Okay, that's true.
I'm going to go to ATL, my accent, my ATL. Not taking care of your kids, okay? Or thinking that the wife needs to do all the cooking and all that. Okay,
see, this is my problem. Hold on.
No.
Stop.
I didn't want to read that part.
Stop. It's on the screen.
I did not want to read that part.
This is exactly what I'm talking about, Kim. This is what I mean. So what I'm saying is, to me, you're speaking out both sides of your mouth. You're saying the man has to fit squarely into this particular thing, but if he thinks of his wife as somebody that needs to be doing all the cooking, then that's wrong. And I'm saying, to me, that's the same kind of thing.
No.
You know what I'm saying? To me, it is.
No, it's not. I'm saying, I don't care. It has nothing to do with gender. You are a punk if you don't go kill the spider. You are a pansy.
But what about you? Are you a punk if you don't kill the spider?
No,
Why
I'm not.
Well, that makes it about gender.
No, it doesn't.
All right, let's go back and look at some of these comments because it's hot. We got a lot of people in here. Look what Primo says. Primo said, this is Primo's definition. Punk equals lack of courage in multiple contexts, from conversation to the way he carries himself to providing safety, etc.
I'm sorry, but that is the truth.
Okay, and listen.
That is the truth.
Listen, Primo, I'm that kind of guy, so I don't have no problem with that.
No, and this is not about us. This is about why sometimes women lose respect for men. Now, the question is...
No, we won't ask that yet.
Okay.
Let's
not go there yet. Okay.
Here is Alicia. She says, I feel every woman may have their own personal definition of pansy. But...
Yes, I was going to say that.
But
I was going to say
that. But what
that.
Alicia is saying is, every woman got a definition for pansy.
Every woman has a definition.
That's the point.
And Alicia, I'm glad you said that because I feel like that's my definition. This is how I feel.
Right.
But there's some other women who don't feel that way. But like you said, there are other women who... They don't care if you don't go kill the spider.
Yes.
But if you don't do other things, you would be considered a pansy or a punk to them. And so what I'm saying is if that ends up creeping into the relationship where the husband shows that he is a punk or a pansy in a certain situation that she defines as punk or pansy, if that's the case, then you are, going to maybe get that tone that means I don't respect you.
Right.
And I'm not saying that's right, but we need to go to...
We're going to get to that in a second.
Get to that in a minute. But
Kenyatta's over here saying keep it real, April, so she got you. You know what I'm saying? Keep it
Thank you,
100,
Kenyatta.
You know what I'm
saying?
Thank you. Okay, so let me get another one. Kevin Bryan said, it is important for the husband to define what respect means to him and how he and his wife can, or how his wife can show respect. I think that is important,
true.
Kevin. You are right about that.
We were talking earlier when we were kind of,
like pre-show.
Trying to figure out what we're going to talk about. Yeah. And I mentioned to John a family or some friends that we know where I feel the wife speaks disrespectfully to him. Mm-hmm. I mean, she will just snap. She'll be like, why would you do that? That is not right. Like,
and in front of people too.
In front of people, it don't matter. Mm-hmm. And his response is always, babe, you know what? You are the smart one in the family. Mm-hmm. I will do whatever you say. Mm-hmm. You are okay. If you think that's, whatever. And, that I guess it works for them. He sees that, he doesn't see that as a disrespect or a threat or whatever you want to call it.
He doesn't seem affected by it at all, right?
He doesn't see, matter of fact, he laughs at it.
I never see his facial expression change, nothing like that.
No, he doesn't get.
In our relationship, that would be disrespect.
Definitely.
But in theirs, it doesn't seem like it is.
Right. So you do have to define it for the relationship.
And she's not calling them names.
No.
She didn't say, but she does have a tone that April would consider disrespectful if she was that same tone with me.
And it actually, so I get a little embarrassed for him.
I do too.
But he seems to be just fine with it.
He never has.
So,
now they may have, he may be good at acting, and then when they go back in their bedroom, they may have a knockdown drag out about it. We don't know.
No, we don't.
But it happens regularly, and it's never, he doesn't even show anything on his face. Okay, now Horace says this. What if the man has a bug phobia? See, that's what I'm talking about. This is where I'm at with mine, Horace. I'm saying, hold on.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I think we have to be careful in how we sort of go down this road, because I think if we make sort of a gender thing, right? If we make this about gender, then I think we're on a slippery slope now.
Listen.
Where you as a wife are going to be open to my gender role stereotypes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's not what I'm doing right now.
You're just saying what it is that makes for you that makes
right,
the
and I
person
think
apart.
other women have the same feeling.
Yeah.
Now, if you had a if you had a bug phobia or whatever,
right?
we might not be married right now.
If you found out about the bug phobia early on, that might have turned you off to the point where
what I am saying is,
Yeah.
and that's a small thing, so you know. But what I'm saying is, things like bug phobias or something like that you really have. I mean, those things come out before you get married. So I feel like something like that, I would know, okay, he's never going to kill the bugs,
Right.
because he had an issue as a kid,
Right.
and he just doesn't do it.
Right.
But let me tell you something. My son,
Mm-hmm.
at one point, did not want to kill bugs.
He was like 8.
He
You
was
know
like,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
he
What do
was. He
you
was like
expect?
8.
Yeah.
But you know what I said to him? I said, you killing this bug.
Right.
You are killing, go get that flip-flop. You are killing this bug. And I said, the reason why you are killing this bug is because when you get married,
Yeah.
and you have a wife,
and you will get married,
and you have children, and there's a huge spider in the house, you need to go kill it.
Yeah.
You need to go kill it. So now he kills bugs with no problem. Because that's a thing for me.
But I think
like,
that when you get
that's
married
just
was an
what-
important aspect of that, because the whole point is you were thinking he might not get married if he doesn't learn to kill that bug.
That's all I'm saying. Look, you have to speak and be real when it comes to certain things. Now, again, that's a small.
Let me take one more.
know,
Look at
okay.
this. This
All
is
Renita?
Renita Chanel. A man who allows me to be disrespected. Wait. Yes, something like another man saying something rude to me. Oh.
And my man
She's
wouldn't address
saying-
the individual?
I see.
Yes.
Okay,
that's
so
an
she's saying this is
excellent
one that
example.
bothers her. If
Excellent
the man allows her to be disrespected without saying nothing, something like
Girl.
that, that's an example of something that
Punk.
says, okay, he's a punk. And
Pansy.
for her, that
Oh my
makes her lose
goodness.
respect.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get to what I was going to say then.
Okay.
But there were a lot more comments here.
Okay.
But we can't
Okay.
go through all of them. Here's what
Okay.
I was going to say. Here's my reality. And here's my question. And I want to ask it to everybody now, but I'm going to ask it to you, April. The question is, does that excuse the wife from being respectful? In other words,
Okay.
here's my real statement. I want to know if you agree with this statement.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has to earn respect except in marriage.
Okay.
That's my statement, and that's actually what I believe. My feeling is that once we're married, we are husband and wife. My opinion is it's important for us to have respect in the relationship, and I don't think respect has to be earned when you're married. In fact, neither does love. We'll talk about that next week a little bit more, but I think you can understand it better with the love thing. I think we're supposed to love our wives, whether our wives are being lovable or not.
You jumping.
I'm not jumping. I'm not jumping. I'm just saying for a second, that's the way you can agree with me.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say the same thing about respect.
Okay.
My feeling is you should respect your husband whether he's being respectable or not. You know why? Because he's your husband. And my question is, or my statement is, I can see why you might lose respect, but my feeling is that's not an excuse. That's your husband. You got to respect him no matter what. And actually, my personal opinion is your husband will actually rise to the occasion when you respect him before he's respectable. My feeling is he's never going to be respectable. If you keep hitting him, beating him down by disrespecting him, talking down to him, you actually are continuing to basically produce what it is you don't like about it.
Wow. Yes. And before I talk about that, before I answer that question, I do want to say that when women or when a wife belittles her husband or her man, right? Over time, what it does is it's actually taking pieces of his spirit.
Yeah, that's right.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Just little by little, pieces of his spirit, just take it until he is literally at the bottom, feeling like a child. And I don't even want to say feeling like a child because I don't feel that a child should feel that way either.
Right.
Okay. A child shouldn't even feel that way.
Yeah.
But we do use that as a, as
that's
an
what we
example,
normally say.
that we
'Cause he's a
normally
man,
say
he
that.
shouldn't
But
feel like a
no, he
child.
shouldn't feel like a child, but he feels like a child. And so he ends up, at this low point where if a woman ends up coming into his life at work or at church or at some, event or whatever, social gathering, and speaks to him like he's a king, which is the way he should be spoken to at home.
Yes.
Okay.
Agreed.
Like he's a king.
Yeah.
Then he says, ooh, I like the way that felt. let me go talk to that girl again. Let me go talk to her again.
And it's especially dangerous if they work together, because now this is something that can happen every day.
So now I'm going to go in early for work.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stay late.
That's right.
Because I like the way, Nikki speaks to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, I do believe that when that happens, it definitely takes away the spirit. And then there's insecurities that come in from that.
No question.
There's all kinds of negative things that come from that.
Yeah.
Feeling like a child, not a man. And then it begins to create a different kind of person than who you married.
That's right. You're actually, this is what I think. I think wives and husbands too, but wives, we're talking about them this week. Wives have the ability to create in their husbands the thing that they desire, but it doesn't happen by disrespecting and belittling.
No, it does not.
Because that is what a husband needs. Men in general need respect more than anything else. It's like a primal need. In fact, any argument that we have, when it really goes south, if we break it down, right? At the end, normally it's I felt disrespected at some point. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
That's what it all comes down to.
That is
in
true.
fact, I as a man see love through the prism of respect.
Speak it.
So where I feel unloved is really when I feel disrespected. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
So this is very important. And I don't know if wives understand the power that they have. They have the power to actually help create in their man the thing that they want so much.
The non-pansy man.
That's it.
The real man.
Yeah, but you got to talk that into him.
But,
you got to speak that into existence.
But let me go back, because I will say, based on what you said earlier, I do agree. You should not have to earn respect in your marriage.
Not in marriage, no.
It should be that you are automatically respected because you are the king.
Yes.
You are my king.
That's right.
You are, and I know some women who can't even say that. You are my king. You are the king of this home.
Right.
It's very hard for some women to say that, and I think it's because there is a lack of respect.
They lost respect for him.
They've lost respect. So let's now get real.
Yeah.
Because yes, that is so true. You should respect. You shouldn't have to earn it. All of that stuff is the truth. But in reality, okay, let's get to the nitty.
Yeah.
In reality, if you are not being respectable, do you know how hard it is going to be for me to actually show you that respect, regardless of the fact that you are who you are? You know what I'm saying?
Because in the
regardless
moment,
of the fact that you're the king of my home, you are my king and I am your queen. But if you are not being respectable, it is going to be very difficult for me to respond in a way that shows that respect when I have zero respect for you.
Right.
Like I cannot imagine living with somebody that I have no respect for.
Okay, so let's just go into a second, because I'm glad you said that last thing, because now everybody knows, you know what I'm saying, that I don't do any of the stuff that this guy does. But the question
he has to keep saying that, doesn't he?
Here's the question, though, because he didn't reveal any of this. The question is this guy in that situation? Is it possible that a wife would not have respect for her husband for other reasons? Is it just that he's a pansy? Is it just that he's not being respectable? Is it possibly that the wife has other issues? Maybe she grew up in a home where she saw this modeled all the time.
That's true. So it could be that,
or maybe she's the type that has a problem with the things that she says, depending on how she's feeling. She had a hard day at work, or the kids were acting a certain way. And so I don't know that it's necessarily that the husband can only be disrespected in situations where he's not being respectable.
No, that is very true.
Yeah.
It could just be that is how she is. And let me tell you something. And I want to make this clear. If that's how she is, there is no way he's just finding this out for the first time in marriage.
But he didn't say it either. He didn't say I just found out.
I know he didn't. And I'm talking about he in general. I'm not just talking about this anonymous person. I'm talking about he in general. If this woman is talking to him like that, it's not something that is new.
Okay.
And
sounds like he's been dealing with it for a while.
Yeah, I'm saying if you were together long enough dating, you would have been able to recognize that she is the kind of person that's going to talk to me in a way that I don't necessarily like. But see, I think what happens is some people just take it, right?
Like this guy, he says he just takes it because he says she's going to go off even more if he says anything. So he doesn't say anything about it.
So he just takes it, right? And I think what happens is over time, you can go 20 years. Have we not seen this, babe?
We have, babe.
We've seen this, babe, multiple times.
Where the guy's like, okay, after 20 years, he just can't take it no more.
So eventually, it will come out.
Right.
So it's like, okay, you either talk about it now, or you wait 20 years and then you blow up and you're like, I can't take it no more. I'm out.
Right.
Like you can't.
Right. I'm done with this.
There's serious
all of a
contempt,
sudden.
and now you are,
Yeah.
So let's see what some of the comments.
Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back to some of these comments and see I don't know. It's been a lot, so I got to go back a long way.
I once saw and heard.
All right.
Okay.
I once saw and heard a woman belittle her husband to the point that I had tears running down my face and just stood there with his head down. Wow. And he just stood there with his head down.
Punk.
So basically, you think that's a punk?
That is a punk.
So what if it's not a punk? What if this guy knows him?
I know I shouldn't say
Hold
that.
on. What
that's
if this,
so bad
but
for
that's
me
okay.
to say.
That's okay. It's not bad. What if this guy knows himself and he has a temper and he's a bigger guy and maybe he knows.
You're going too far with that.
I'm just saying this happened in front of her.
Ain't nobody controlling themselves like that.
This happened in front of Yanni. You know what I'm saying? She saw that.
I know. And I don't mean to say that the person's a punk, because it could just be that, you know,
he's restraining himself because he doesn't want to do anything in front of people.
He does not want to start.
Yeah.
Or I do believe, and I'm not joking anymore. Seriously, I'm not calling guys punks anymore. Okay, but
babe, they want you to be yourself on this and be 100.
I know. I am 100. I can't even help it. I can't even help it. Okay.
Why are you doing that?
But I'm saying sometimes, if you notice what the guy said, he does not want to see his wife fly off at the handle.
Yeah.
Like, he does not want to see her flip. And
he knows that she has the ability to do that.
He knows that she has the ability to do that. And I'm saying, you know, just because, and I think we have an idea that just because it's a woman, men should stand up to them for themselves. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But let me tell you something. I scare my son. And I'm a woman, because that's what happens.
Right.
And I'm talking about fear, the good fear.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Your child needs to have a little fear, but
for
a good
the parent,
fear.
No question.
For the parent.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I think that fear is also in marriages sometimes. I think sometimes,
you think
but it's not a good fear.
They've seen her. They've seen her flip and go to another level, and it's like,
and they're scared.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
I don't want to have that happen.
And it causes them. And so, seriously, we have to look at this as some people end up retreating and stonewalling and going into this hole or whatever when someone is maybe aggressive or very, and it doesn't matter, man or woman. I'm being real now. I'm not joking around. Seriously, men and women, we can all have a feeling like, oh my goodness, I don't want to hear this or go through this, or this is too much.
So I'm avoiding it.
I've been abused and I don't want to have that feeling again. So I retreat.
Yeah.
And I put my head down like the guy did, put his head down in shame or in sorrow that he is being spoken to like this.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal.
But what you're saying, what you said earlier, is that is chipping away at
it
his
is chipping
psyche.
away his psyche.
That's chipping away at his spirit. You don't want to do that.
No.
You want to build your man up.
Yes.
Okay, look what Ebony says.
Okay.
Wives become disrespectful when they feel unloved by their husbands, and the husbands don't love their wives when they feel disrespected. It's a vicious cycle.
It's a cycle.
You're right, Ebony.
Yes.
That happens a lot.
And somebody has to step up and stop it.
That's it. Somebody got to step up and stop it.
So who stops it?
Well, here's what we're saying tonight.
Okay.
Tonight we're saying, wives, just respect your husbands.
Yes.
You're the one this week that stops it.
Yes.
Now here's the thing. When it really comes down to it, these problems are always going to be problems if both of y'all decide, I'm not stopping it. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's true.
So
it's true.
Somebody's got to do it, and sometimes it's me, sometimes it's April.
Right.
Depending on what's happening, but one of us has got to be the bigger person at some point and say, okay, I'm going to do it. This week we're saying to wives, let it be you. Let you be the ones that say, no matter what my husband is doing, I'm going to always speak to him or treat him with respect. And by the way, respect, there's some biblical words. I don't have time to get into all of that, but one of the words for respect is also honor. So when you honor somebody, it's similar to what we're doing right now on Veterans Day. You know what I'm saying? We're thinking highly of Primo and your father, Bernard Mendenhall, and others who have put on a uniform and gone out and done something for their country to keep us safe. We honor those people because those people did something respectable in our minds. So it may be, wives, that you have to find the one thing about your husband you still respect. Because there may only be one thing left.
Because I was just about to say, you just said because they have done something respectable. And I am saying I'm going back to being real. And I'm not saying we're not being real. I'm talking about
the reality is in the moment, you're not going to think about, I got to respect them no matter what.
Right, because if you're not being respectable, it is very hard for anybody, not just a wife, for anybody to respect you. But I think even more for a wife because she knows your potential.
Right.
she knows what you can do because you've
Yes.
done it before. Because
Yes.
I wouldn't be married to you
Right.
if there was no respect there at some
Right.
point.
At some point. There was something that drew me to you.
At some point, there was
Yes.
something that drew me to you, that made me honor you,
Yes.
made me want to say I do,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, and say you are my king, right? And then we get married and things begin to change or something begins to happen and the respect is lost
Yeah.
because the man is not doing things that earn respect. And I'm
Yeah.
saying, like you said,
So-
you're
so-
right
so
about
back-
that.
so
You
back-
should not have to earn respect
You
in
haven't
marriage,
said it
but
yet. You haven't said it yet. And what you really want to say, sounds like to me, is husbands need to be working on making sure that they're respectable.
Yes.
You're saying husbands don't have a, you're saying husbands should not hide behind the fact that they are entitled to respect because their name is husband.
Exactly. So now they can just do
They
whatever.
can do whatever.
You know, you can be rude,
So
you
this
can
is
be
this is
disrespectful
this
to
is
your
this
wife.
is this is not an invitation for you, husband, to stop doing your job as a husband. You got to be doing things
okay,
with respect.
I'm so glad you said that. Doing your job as a husband.
Yeah.
What does that mean? So in this family, John knows what his job is.
Look what Roby just said. Where do I send my offer?
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, go ahead.
You know,
We know
you
what the
know what
jobs
your
are.
role is.
Yeah.
You know what, but there are some families where the husband don't even know what his role is because the wife sometimes is bossy, telling him everything he's supposed to be doing. He don't know what to do, and so it makes him look like a punk. He doesn't want to be though.
Right.
He wants to be a man. He wants to be able. But sometimes we have where women, wives, guys. I'm going to a different little area here, but we can be so controlling that it actually turns our men into punks. Because now they're just yes men.
So sometimes
And I'm not
a wife
saying-
needs to
I-
relinquish some of that control and allow her
Yes.
man to lead, allow him to.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
you let
Wow.
your man lead.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about something like make a decision on something that's not that deep.
Right.
And it's not your decision, you know, something you wouldn't do. But if it's his way, it's not going to kill anybody.
Right.
So
Right.
let's just do it his way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Almost
yeah.
like parking the car. If he parks the car way away, it's not going to kill anybody to walk. So just don't say anything. Just shut up and let him park.
So this
I'm
is
saying,
this is important, April. You're adding a nuance now
Yes. Mm-hmm.
to respect, and what you just opened up was another window into what respect feels like for men.
Yes, we can create punks.
But not just that. What I was going to say is respect is not just talking to me a certain way. It's also respect looks like trust.
It does.
So
Yes.
we've talked about this before. When we go to a parking lot, you just said it. When we go to a parking lot and we're looking around for parking spaces, and I choose a space that's further away from the store than another one, and you say, "Why don't we park over there?" I'm like, "Why are you second guessing this? Who cares? Let me just park the car." You know what I'm saying?
Obviously, we've had this happen multiple times. I've had this happen to me so many times. Me trying to control where John parks.
But I feel like you've gotten so much
that's
better
what I'm
over
saying.
time.
That now I
Yeah.
have just shut my trap because it's
and
not
the point
even
is
that
that's
deep.
respecting your husband too. And I don't know if wives even realize that.
It is.
That's a form of respect. Trusting
is.
your husband is respecting
So
him.
let me give you an example too. So this lady was, you know, she was getting her kids stuff for school and had, you know, trying to get her kids stuff together. And the husband did not, they made it to the school or whatever, and the husband didn't get the girls' book bags.
Right.
Right.
And you were there.
And I was there watching.
Right.
And she was like, I mean, the book bags were sitting on the table. You couldn't just pick up the book bags. I mean, come on. That's all you had to do was pick up the book bags and put them in the car. And she just kept going and going and going. And I was just thinking, first of all, she sounded very controlling.
Yeah.
And he just sat there. He was just like,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't respond. It didn't look like he was being a punk. It looked like he was like, you know what? I'm not even going to respond to you.
Right.
So then there's something else that happens. I'm saying it's things like that controlling, where everything has to be your way, everything has to be done like this or that.
Yeah.
That can actually cause, I think, your man to respond like a punk when he really isn't one. But you've now created this punk because you are this controlling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
We can't say that on the
no,
air.
you can't say that. You know, and you are always having something to say about everything all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And he just becomes a docile,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
little guy who sits over
Right.
to the side and says, yes,
Right.
yes, ma'am.
Right.
And now you don't respect him because he doesn't stand up to you. And
But-
I don't
but
mean in a
maybe
negative
but
way.
maybe you're actually creating that is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You could be creating the punk, and then you have lost respect for him because of your controlling behavior.
Man, you are, man, somebody about to send you some money tonight. Goodness. Might be Roby.
I'm just saying.
Look at what Chris
speaking
says.
the truth.
Cats will put up with certain things if other needs are being met by his wife. This is a good point, Chris. If she's a great cook or great in bed, for example. Chris is making a great point. So some of us men have made calculated decisions. You may think of us as punks, and other people out there may see us as punks. But basically, I know when my bread is buttered. This woman is giving me some at night, and this woman is cooking. And look, if she wants to talk to me like that, that's something I'm okay with.
But let me make something
so
clear.
He's saying some men put up with that because it's a trade-off for them.
That's a great point. And let me tell you something. If that works for you, go ahead, boo-boo.
Yeah, do your thing.
Go ahead, boo-boo, do your thing.
Right.
So look, this is not about whether people see my husband as a punk.
Right.
This is about whether I see my husband as a punk.
Yeah.
So I'm saying if I'm seeing my husband as a punk, I'm probably not giving him anything in bed. I'm probably not cooking with love. I might cook because I have to, not because I want to.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you are getting those things and you're okay with that, that is what works for you. Listen, when it comes to marriage and relationships, it is about what works for y'all. You know, it's not about what other people see.
That's right.
You know what I'm
Doesn't
saying?
really matter.
So I might see somebody as a punk, and I can have my opinion, but I'm not gonna go into their marriage and say, "Hey, girl, why are
you letting your husband be a punk like that?"
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Well, some girls will do that, but you're not.
But
going
I mean, you don't have to listen to them.
Here's another one: natural healer mom. If a woman disrespects a man who is properly providing financial stability and physical and emotional protection, she may need to do some internal work and address generational patterns / personal drama. Yes, which is what we were talking. Trauma. Thank you. Which is what we were talking about earlier.
Right.
Which is what I was saying.
Yes.
It doesn't always have to be that the wife disrespects her husband because he's acting a certain way.
Exactly.
It could be that there's something going on internally that is causing her to have these reactions and responses. And what we're saying, whichever boat you fit into, what we're saying is respecting your husband actually pays dividends. It actually helps you to get a more respectable husband.
Exactly.
But
it
the opposite,
what you're looking for.
Exactly. The opposite never works.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something. The more you treat your man like a king, I'm telling you, this man right here, he think he can do anything because I believe he can do anything. Seriously.
Yeah, which is actually true.
I truly believe that he can go on American Ninja Warrior. I am not lying. And win. Seriously.
Yeah. I actually can.
Seriously, I really believe that. He believes he can get on there.
I'm in my 40s now, so I probably can't, but I could.
No, I believe he could get on right now and win American Ninja Warrior. I'm just saying. Yeah. I think that we should be putting that in our men, that they are kings. They should be lifted high. You know what I'm saying? To the point where they feel like they can do anything. They can go to the moon because you said it. You know, but the opposite is true as well. You tell them there's nothing in the way that you speak to them. Because you say, why would you do that? Right. In his mind, I do nothing right. Right. Which means that he doesn't move up as quickly as he would in his career, or he doesn't, have the things that he dreams about. His dreams are squashed, not because you say his dreams mean nothing. It's because you said, why you keep doing that? You can't never do this right. Why can't you get the book bags? Why don't you pick up the book bags?
That's dream crushing language.
Yeah, it's you are not good enough. Yeah. You can't ever do anything right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that sometimes it does. The way you were brought up or things that have trauma that took place in your life. I think that can be a reason why people talk like that. But, okay.
One more thing. Natural healer mom. She may be able to fake it for a time, but the genuine mechanics of respect won't be at play for her. Men need to understand this. As quiet as it's kept, this dynamic is problematic for many women. So she's right. So she's saying what you're saying, which is basically, I know in my mind that the Bible tells me I'm supposed to respect my husband. Right. And that I'm supposed to do that unconditionally, whether he's being respectful or not. Yes. So clearly I know what that says. Yes. But in reality, the mechanics of respect are, I tend to respect those who are respectable. Yes. And so that's why I'm saying, husbands, don't get caught up in my wife's supposed to do this so I can just act like I want to act. We got to be working on being respectable. We got to be working on stepping up and doing the things that we know our wives respect and think go into our job as husbands. We got to be doing that. If we do that, I think her respect will be returned. So
and I think what Kim said earlier when she said, you're respected when you're taking care of your kids and when you're taking care of the home and doing what you're supposed to do. I think as a woman, I feel like when a man is doing his duties at the house and in the home and for the children and for the family, there is an automatic respect that comes with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you're not doing those things, we're talking regular things that you should be doing as a husband, as a father,
Yes.
as a, you know what I'm saying? And you're not doing those things every day. And I'm a realist. The reality is you are going to have a hard time respecting a man like that. And that's going to be a fight for you.
Yeah.
That's going to be a fight.
We're going to have to come back and do an episode on that because I want to end with this right here. Look at this comment from Ebony, and I think this goes in what you're saying. Punk equals when you allow him to take the lead, and he don't, which forces the wife to continue to be controlling when she doesn't want to.
Girl, you are speaking the truth. That is it. You're trying to get him to be the leader that he should be, but he won't do it.
Here's why I think we need a whole other episode on this, because I think there's something we can help you with. Husbands and wives that have sort of a reverse thing. Some husbands are genuinely just not that assertive, and some wives are more assertive.
Right.
How does a wife in that situation get her husband to lead? And I'll give you the way you do it now, and then we'll actually do an episode on this in the future.
Okay.
You can lead from behind.
That is very
There's
true.
a way of doing it.
I've done that multiple times.
She's done it multiple times. There's a way to lead your husband while he's actually in front leading.
So are you saying?
So here's what it does. It respects the dynamic of it retains the dynamic of respect.
The needs.
Yes.
Because a man needs to feel like he's leading.
Your
and
husband
able to
needs to feel like he's leading. It doesn't always mean he actually is.
And this is not a gender thing.
It's
this
not
is
a
a
gender
reality
thing.
of what you have inside of you.
This is my point.
Yes.
This is what I'm saying.
I don't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
This
is good though.
Shoot,
it's
that's
good.
what we do, girl.
Yeah.
We can cut each other off the whole time. My point is though, we'll show you some things on that later. But think about that for a second. You don't have to be out in front leading. You don't have to. It doesn't have to look like you're leading. I'll give you one example right now. Okay. Now this is from my career as a pastor. It was my first church. Okay. I had a pastor there, an elder, my head elder. His name was Solomon Pittman. One of the best elders. I've had some really great head elders over the years. But here's something that he did that really helped me out, and it was him leading from behind. It was my first board meeting, and I really didn't know what I was doing. And there was a point at which he obviously knew I didn't know what I was doing. And I got to a point where I didn't know what to do next in the board meeting. So this elder says in front of everybody, "Pastor, what do you think about us doing this?" And it was him feeding me the next thing to do. I said, "That's a great idea, elder. Let's do that right now." He knew that I was not actually in control in that moment. He knew I had no idea what I was doing because I just started pastoring. And what he could have done is use that opportunity to gather more power for himself and to show everybody that he was in control. But instead what he did was he basically allowed me to look like I was still leading, but he fed me the information so that I could actually lead. You know what I'm saying? I was the one that was doing, but he was actually leading me. That's leading from behind. I'm saying you have to learn how to do it. It's a skill. It's something that you can learn over time. But some wives need to learn how to do that. They can keep up the respect factor, and at the same time, they can help their husbands to feel like they're leading.
Yeah.
I think it's important.
I do too.
Anyway. So I don't know if that helped y'all tonight. I have no idea. But here's what we say to homeboy. If you are a pansy, it's time to start stepping up. I think your wife will start respecting you again when she sees you stepping up and doing those things that she respects as respectable.
And I think Ebony made a good point when she said, she's wanting you to lead and then you don't.
Right.
So it's like, and you don't have to lead in an assertive way where you are, taking over.
There's different kinds of leaders out there.
Controlling. There are. Yeah. And you know how you can lead? Let me tell you one thing that a man could do that will make a woman feel like, wow, what a man. And that is, go get dressed, we going out.
Yeah.
You just going to tell, matter of fact.
Do something spontaneous and just be like, okay, we're going to do this.
We're going to do this. I got something for us to do. Go get your stuff on, we going. Where we going, babe? Don't worry about that. I got this. What? Okay. I'm going to go do what I need to do because, just little things like that. That's a little thing that can start changing the attitude of the wife or the girlfriend, whatever, to make you, to show that you're a man. You can lead. You can do things on your own for you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You got to start practicing that stuff. So if that's your problem, that's the issue. But
Thanks, Kimmy.
But maybe there's another problem. If you are just married to a wife who doesn't respect her husband for whatever reason, you're going to have to man up and have a conversation with her.
And I was just about to say that, because when he said, what do I do? Listen, we talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
This is like the ending of all of our shows, and
Right.
that is communication.
You have to communicate.
You have
with
to
her.
say something.
That's right.
And you have to say something in a different kind of environment. You cannot respond after she's gone off on you.
Yeah.
I don't like the way you talking to me like that.
Wait till things cool
I
down
never like when you
and
say
do it
that
later
to me.
on.
Why you got to be talking to
Why
me
you
like
always
that?
do that voice?
That's the man's voice. That's what happens when they get mad. That's my mad man's voice. So I agree. You have to communicate. You have to
Yes.
say what it is, but it has to be in the right environment. It has to be
Yeah.
when the kids are down, everything's put away, no phones. You are in a quiet space where you guys can talk and share feelings calmly, you know, not in a way like where you're responding. You don't want it to be where you're responding. You want it to be where you brought this up, and you can calmly set that environment so you can tell her, because that's not going to work for 20 years.
You're right.
It's just not.
All right, so Horace just asked, how often do you guys go live? We do this every Wednesday at 9, every single Wednesday. We'll be back next Wednesday at 9 o'clock,
Yes.
and we're going to be talking about husbands loving their wives. That's what we're going to be talking about next week.
Yes.
So that will be a one-sided show one more time. And, Gary Graham made it, and he laughed at your voice, April. He thought that was funny.
Yeah, that's my.
Good to see you, G. You know what I'm saying? Glad you made it. We saw Pat earlier. The famous Graham brothers who
Yes.
made this possible. We're using
That's
the
my
stream deck
favorite
right
Graham.
now. That's right, April's
That's my
favorite.
favorite Graham.
Yeah. So here's our last thing. Here's
All
what we want
right.
to do. Are you Team John or Team April? You need to put that in the chat.
Put it
we
in
need
the
to start
chat.
knowing now,
Team John, Team
whose
April.
perspective did you
Agree
resonate
with
with
the
the most? You know what I'm saying? Which one of
Yes.
us? Just put it in the chat. Type in Team John, type in Team April, whichever one was the one that you liked. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. Set that alarm, Ebony. Set it and get ready, because next week at 9 we'll be right here. By the way,
Yes.
remember, anything that you want, if you're ever looking for a comment or a question or something you want to put on the show or something like that, just make sure you send it to us. Oh yeah. Horace said Team John. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Oh,
Come on,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, Avery. Yeah, Camille.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? This is whack. But yeah, Primo. I'm
That's
always
right,
Team
Gary.
John. Come on, Primo. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I love it, man.
All right, Shell.
Andrew
Yeah,
Team
Shell.
John too. Kenyatta Team April though.
That's right, Karen. Team. I think I'm getting some more.
Why is Sheldon Team? Oh, he's talking about Elaine's Team April all day. Okay, I'm about to say, why is Sheldon? Sheldon, you my man. We
I
are
thought-
brothers. You know what
But
I'm
he
saying?
did not say Team John.
No, he did not. That's true.
Shanika Team Japril. Oh, that was
that
cute.
was nice. Oh man, Chris Team John. Yes.
Thank you, Crystal.
We're gonna count these later and see who won. Team April
Yeah,
Saba. You know
Saba.
what, man? Shut up, the voice scared her.
Oh, Team
Oh
Nixon.
my
Thanks,
goodness.
Shell.
Hey, Chris John talking about Team John. Can I park? Thank you, man. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Can I park? You know what I'm saying?
Angelique.
Oh, man.
Hey, cuz.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Yeah. So anyway, y'all,
All
next
right,
week,
I'm
9
seeing
o'clock.
a lot of Team April.
We're gonna be right here. Primo talking about it's Veterans Day. I get
Dari
2
said-
votes. Team
Dari
John
said
again.
Team John. Kim said Dari said Team John.
Thank you, Odari. That's what I'm talking about. My brother.
Oh, Ebony
Team
Team,
will be-
April. Yes. Hate you both.
Oh
Okay,
man.
that might have been equal. What'd you
Maybe.
think? Do you
It
think we
seemed,
both
seemed like
won?
about, you know what I'm saying? Just
We
about.
both won
you know what I'm
tonight.
saying?
We both
Yeah,
won
yeah.
tonight.
Everybody talking about apron. Oh man. All right, y'all.
All right, y'all.
We're looking forward to next week. 9 o'clock, same time, same channel. Be right here. And we'll see y'all then.
Oh yeah, and catch us on Fridays.
Oh yeah, Friday. We always
on
drop an episode on
YouTube.
YouTube. That's
Yes,
true.
so
So
be
this
ready
Friday
for
it'll be
that.
ready. Probably around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that. It'll always be there. So go to Just John and April on YouTube. Subscribe if you have not done that yet.
Yes,
And,
go do that right now,
Sean
guys.
Craig just said, "Oh, I can't vote." Laugh out loud. Y'all are both
Aw,
winners.
Sean.
Thank you, Sean. You know what I'm saying?
Love you, Sean.
And another Team John provisional ballot. Yeah, just in case the ballots get messed up. You know what I'm saying? You never know. All right, y'all.
All
All right, G. We'll see
Thanks,
y'all later
guys.
too, man. And I'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
All right. Bye.